And here we are, Jim Everett with Rebel Brown for part 2 of the interview series. And so one of the things that we're going to dig into now, Rebel, is you talk in your book about the opportunity cost of chasing big ideas or big clients or big projects. So can you just help us understand how we know which ones are the right ones to chase?
Well, another thing that we're all taught as a belief is that big is better, right? A bigger deal will save our business. A big deal will get us into the big time. Well, in fact, a lot of those big deals actually end up tanking businesses. And because it is a bright life, big city, oh my gosh, I really want that. And we tend to forget to really take a strong look at whether or not that big opportunity is in sync with where we're going and what's in our best interest, because we're dazzled by the bright lights. So what I recommend to customers and to my clients is that, their big deals can be really good things. But what you need to do is you need to make sure that, number one, the big deal is in sync with where your value is going and where your market opportunities really lie. If you're going in this direction and that big deal's over here in right field, it will distract you and it won't contribute to your moving forward. So you want to be careful about that. You want to make sure that whatever big deal you sign actually gives you funds and resources to improve on your value that you're already delivering and it's already in your path. So if I have a big deal, if this is my direction, kind of in here, and I have a big deal that sits right in there that helps me fund developing more of my value, that's a great opportunity because I get to work with a customer to work through whatever I want to add to my offering. I get funded for it. It's a great way to build. If, on the other hand, what I'm going to get is the chance to build value that's over here that nobody in my current market is ever going to need or use, that's something you need to take a look at because that's going to build you into a different direction. And do you really want to do that? The other thing is we want to make sure that big deals don't prevent us from continuing to run forward and growing our business on our own. The last thing we want to do is get so dependent on a big deal or one customer that if something happens with that big deal, we're toast. We're in a downward spiral. So you really have to balance where is my vision with where is this deal, and if that deal doesn't really give you lift into your vision and where you're going, then you want to take a second look at it.
Right, okay. And then another thing that I think works in here is where you talk about following what the competition is doing. And so it may look like there's huge opportunities doing what the competition is doing. Can you help us understand that one?
Well, Jim, nothing you do that follows the competition will make you a market leader. By definition, it can't be because you've set yourself up as a follower. And so therefore, if for a business to grow, you need to provide distinct value to a market that's compelled to buy that value. If you're following a competitor, well, you can't very well be distinct when you're doing what they've already done. So that's a really dangerous way to build a strategy. Also, let's face it, competitors may be knee-deep in gravity and sinking like dinosaurs into the tar pits, and you don't know it. They may be going in the wrong direction for your markets. So you want to be really cautious. I'm not saying you don't want to pay attention to your competitors, but what I always have two things I look for with competitors. One is, where's their sweet spot? Where can they do things that you can't even possibly hope to do? Give them that business. You'll look great when you tell a potential customer, I can't do that for you, but so-and-so does a really good job, go there. You look great. You just built credibility. You'll also give them the business that keep them busy so that where you want to focus, they're not so busy in your market. Now, how you find out where you want to focus is you want to know where your competitor's Achilles heel is, where they can't possibly play well, and that's where you add focus for your business because you have distinction, you have differentiation, and they're not going to come into that space, especially if you keep pointing people at their sweet spot. So that's how you use competitors. You do not use competitors to define your strategy. You use your keepers of the truth in your market, and you stay focused on them because if you're following a competitor, then the view never changes. You're always in second place or worse.
Right, yes. And one of my favorite quotes is from page 129 where you talk about opportunity is all around us. That's why we need to focus. And I think you've given us some really good guidelines for that. Anything you want to add to that area of focus?
Yeah, I think, you know what? You don't want to focus on executing the how that you've defined. You want to focus on getting to the what. And the what is, what are my markets? What problems am I solving? What am I doing to add value and benefits to my clients, to my customers? That's the goal. The goal is not to achieve, to deploy X, Y, and Z by some date, because if X, Y, and Z isn't working, then you don't care if you deploy it or not. The goal is not to deliver a marketing campaign. It's to have that marketing campaign be successful. And that means it's all about focusing on serving customers, not the how you get to that. The how may shift depending on where your customers go.
Right. Okay. Great. Well, we've covered all of the things that I wanted to ask here. Is there any final thoughts or anything you'd like to add just to support here?
Yeah, I think, the one thing I'd love to add is that sometimes people think, well, defying gravity is easy for Rebel because she's been a consultant for 20 years. Defying gravity is easy for all of us. All it takes is some simple questions. Every time we have a belief that's really strong, when we think, well, we have to do it that way, or we can't change that, or, oh, we can't possibly go there, ask yourself, why? Why do I believe that? How do I know that's true? Where's the evidence? Is there a better way? When was the last time I looked for a better way? And you'll be amazed at some of the gravity you find. I have had so many aha moments as I've gone through that exercise, just as I go through my day and pay attention to my thoughts. And that is how you defy gravity. It's that simple.
Right. And so we can just, instead of just glossing over the questions, sit down, write them out, and really
and ask.
Them. Yeah.
And what I learned, Jim, is every time I'd drive along or I'd pay attention to my thoughts. And every time I think something and then I think, oh no, I can't possibly do that. Wait a minute, why do I believe that? Where's the truth in that? When was the last time I checked that with a customer in the market? Is there a better way? Can I do that? And I always found the harder I pushed against or held on to something, the more likely there was gravity involved in it.
Right, wow, okay, yeah, those are fantastic tips. And just to remind everyone, they can find Defy Gravity at their local bookstore, any of the online booksellers. I know for sure that if they buy one in Denver, there's a good chance they're going to find a signed copy right there.
That's right. They're signed at a lot of different airports around the country.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so just an extra bonus for looking for the book in your local airport. So great. All right, Rebel, well, I've really enjoyed this, and I have a lot of value that I received from this, and I'm going to go back, listen myself, and take more notes, because I know there's some things that really I can use to improve here as well.
Okay. Thanks so much, Jim.
Okay, thanks.